Hey guys, so a couple days ago I went and saw the new indie comedy Lady Bird that's been getting really good reviews. I saw this movie like probably almost a week ago. I've been so fucking busy. I had stuff to do this earlier this week, and then I got sick. I got really badly ill, or I've been ill for the last couple days. Been off work, just basically sitting around doing nothing. Because of it, and I was, pretty much trying to get myself healthy so I could go see Star Wars later this week, and I was like, oh shit, I never did that fucking review for Lady Bird, did I? So like, alright. Lady Bird, this was a movie that fell under my fucking radar until about a few weeks or a few months ago, because, I'd never seen any trailers for this one bit. I've been to the movies enough that over the last couple of months you'd think I'd see a trailer for this, but I never did. And I'd seen the title of this movie pop up a lot on movie websites and stuff like that, and I was like, what the fuck is that movie? And it got to my attention that this movie was currently sitting at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has the most critical reviews, the movie with the most critical reviews to stand at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's like historic or whatever. I'm like, so apparently this is like one of the greatest movies of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, well, okay. Man, sorry, but yeah, I was like, I said that's some high expectations for this movie. I'm like, it's starring Laurie Metcalf and Saoirse Ronan. I'm like, okay, all right. It's a teen comedy. I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't seen one of those in a while. And I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, but from the trailers, it looked like your stereotypical teenage comedy. But I was like, yeah, all right. I'll bite. Why is this movie getting this much praise? Like everybody's been giving it, and yeah, I liked it. I did. I liked it. I don't think it is as good as everybody makes it out to be. I'll say that right now. I'm probably gonna get some hate for what I'm gonna say on this review. There's one thing that just drove me nuts about this movie that made me from saying that this is like one of the best teenage comedies ever made, or one of the I wouldn't even probably put this on my top 10 list of the best films of the year. I've seen a lot better films than this movie, and I'm just saying that. Even though I'm saying that, I will say this: I still liked the movie. I thought it was very good. It is really well acted. I love the chemistry between Saoirse Ronan. I don't know if I'm saying her name right or not. You can tell me in the comments or not if I am. Or I know it's hard to say her goddamn name. I'm not the only one who has trouble saying her name. And Laurie Metcalf as mother and daughter. I thought the most realistic conversations and the most realistic interactions were between the mother and the daughter, and Lady Bird and her mom in this movie. That's what Saoirse Ronan's character's name is, Lady Bird. That's who she goes by from this movie. I don't know really why. It's never really explained, but it's just, yeah, she's calls herself Lady Bird. I don't know why. I don't really give an explanation as to why. But she is their typical rebellious teenage daughter that you've seen it a million times before in this movie. But like I said, her interactions with her mom are realistic. I was actually even having fucking PTSD flashbacks to when my sister was a teenager. She was the same age as Saoirse Ronan's character in 2002. And a lot of the same conversations she was having with her mom, my sister was having with my mom. And it was just a lot of the same arguments, butting heads. Although this one didn't have as much violence as my sister and my mother had. They fought like cats and dogs, I'll tell you that right now. But they definitely butted heads like the main characters in this movie did. Holy shit. I was like having a lot of flashbacks. I was telling my mom after I saw this movie, I said, you should watch this fucking movie. I said, you probably will have flashbacks. Like I said, it made it even funnier because it took place in 2002 when my sister was the same age as Lady Bird was. What else? Like I said, I thought Laurie Metcalf was fucking great. I love Laurie Metcalf. She's amazing. Always, she's one of those actresses that doesn't get enough fucking recognition. It never is in a lot of things, and I was so happy when I heard she was gonna be in this movie. I was like, and she's fantastic in this because I love her. She's funny as hell. If you don't know who Laurie Metcalf is, she's Jackie from Roseanne. That's all you need to know. And she is fantastic. She shows her acting chops throughout this fucking movie. She's, like I said, she's always fantastic at everything I've seen her in, even on TV shows I've seen her in, other than Roseanne, obviously. I loved her in Roseanne. But Saoirse Ronan's great too. Her performance is fantastic. I mean, that girl's, they're definitely grooming her to be like the next big, Oscar-winning actress out there. I'm sure she'll get a nomination come Oscar time for this movie. I'm sure. She's a really good young actress. I only seen her in a few movies. Other this and probably I think the last movie I saw her in, was A Lovely Bones, which I barely remember that movie, but I remember it not being that good. But it's that was a weird Peter Jackson movie about child molestation that was fucking PG-13, or child molestation and murder, and it was PG-13. That was a weird movie. But yeah, she's really turning out to be a really good actress. She suffers from the same problems that all fucking teenagers or girls do. This is one of those movies. It's really hard to review because if you've seen one teenage comedy, drama, comedy, you've seen them all. Growing up comedy, drama. My main problem with this movie, and it's pretty much the same problem I have with pretty much a lot of these movies, a lot of the movies, the teenage comedy dramas that come out nowadays, is that it's basically, who's it? Greta Gerwig wrote and directed this movie. I know she's an actress. I don't know much of her other work, but she has the problem that a lot of people nowadays do, and ever since the 80s have been trying to do, and that is trying to be the next John Hughes, and that they're trying to be a voice of a generation and trying to speak the lingo of kids nowadays. I lived in 2002. I was a teenager in 2002. No one fucking talked like this in this movie. I can fucking tell you from personal experience. No one talked like a lot of the characters in this fucking movie do. God damn, I couldn't stand that. That's the problem I have with a lot of these teenage drama comedies. This reminded me of Diablo Cody and fucking Juno. Now, the dialogue wasn't as horrendous as Juno, I'll say that. Jesus Christ, that movie hasn't aged well. I personally do like that movie, but also I can barely get through it from the dialogue alone, because that dialogue is sometimes unfucking bearable. But she, this kind of reminded me of that. It's just there's a lot of characters that just talk like no normal fucking person would ever fucking talk. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but like I said, the most realistic conversations I saw in this movie were the ones between the mother and the daughter, not between the teenagers. Not, like I said, I grew up in 2002. No one fucking talked like that. So I'm sorry, Hollywood. Anybody who's also but that drove me nuts. I did like that, the guy the guy she was dating, like the one guy, the emo kid who was a douchebag, you could tell from the fucking get-go was a fucking douchebag. Ends up being a douchebag and a really hated character that, she ends up just fucking leaving by the end of the movie, thank God. She realizes he's a douchebag. He's supposed to be part of me was like, while watching this, like, oh God, this is going to be one of those characters you're supposed to like, isn't it? Because I could not fucking stand this character. But he ends up becoming a real unlikable douchebag. And like I said, I already didn't like him from all the dialogue he was fucking talking and like the stupid nonsensical shit that was coming out of his mouth. Then the one previous boyfriend she had also had that same problem, but they also gave him kind of a story arc that he was also secretly gay. I like that story. I like in that scene where she finally confronts him like a few weeks later, after a few months after she catches him kissing another guy, in that scene where he's begging her, please don't tell anybody, please. It's actually a really well acted scene. That was a really good scene. Like, that was a really effective, great story arc for that character. It like kind of made the character redeemable. But the other boyfriend was fucking a jackass. I'm glad but at the same time, I was like, God, this fucking dialogue is driving me nuts. Like, that was what was taking me out of the movie for a lot of it, was the dialogue between the teenagers. But like I said, then it would be redeemed by like the dialogue with the mother and the daughter and everything else. It's a movie man, it sounds like I'm shitting on this movie more than I am, but I do really like this movie. I do recommend it. It's every goddamn Oscar season, there's always one of these kinds of movies. Like, it's a teenage comedy drama that's getting all this high praise and it's getting all these nomination awards. I liked Edge of 17 better than this, and it didn't get nearly the much praise that it got. I thought Edge of 17 was way fucking better. And like a lot more developed characters, I thought, than this movie did. I know I'm probably a shit for saying that, but I don't care. That was such a more well written too. As far as like characters, that sounded like teenagers talking like real fucking people. That was really good. And like I said, it also had fucking Woody Harrelson in it. But I still recommend this movie. It's a good movie. I'm sure it's gonna get Oscar nominations galore and probably get awards. Probably for fucking screenplay, because every time I talk about a screenplay being overrated, usually that's the one that gets fucking the award for best screenplay. So yeah. So apparently I don't know shit. So yeah, you can take my thoughts as a grain of salt, I guess. I'm trying to give you a different opinion. I guess I still like the movie, but it's kind of I know my opinion's different from like everybody else's. So, like I said, I still like the movie. I want to make sure everybody knows that I do like the movie. Far as trailers, A Prayer Before Dawn. This was an interesting trailer. It's a movie about like a British boxer who gets arrested in Thailand and sent to a Thailand prison. It's basically supposed to be based off a true story, and he ends up fighting in a boxing ring in this prison, and like fighting different prisoners and shit like that. Prisoners from different prisons or something like that. And it's like also being like the big thing that's claiming is that was a movie that was actually shot in an actual Thailand prison. So that's kind of cool, with like actual prisoners and everything else. Like, all right, that's gonna be kind of interesting. That actually did look like a decent, pretty damn good movie. But again, it's probably one of those. That's probably not coming to my theater. I guarantee it won't come to my theater. I can't even get fucking The Disaster Artist still. Oh yeah, by the way, if you're wondering why I didn't get The Disaster Artist yet, I said last week, I'm having to get The Disaster Artist. They had The Disaster Artist listed for pretty much all of 2 weeks ago up until like like early last week they said, "Oh fuck it, we're not playing it." They took it off our fucking showtimes, off the showtimes, but no explanation. This movie's doing well at the box office, so that's good. So maybe they'll take notice of it. Well, of course, this week Star Wars, so they're not playing anything else in front of Star Wars except Ferdinand, because that'll do well. But yeah, whatever. I'm fucking pissed. I'm really pissed. I don't know when we're getting to Disaster Artist. I'm fucking pissed. Phantom Thread, the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, Daniel Day-Lewis. It's like, oh yeah, this is fucking Oscar bait written all over it. It's something about, I don't know. It was such a boring trailer, honestly. It was such an uninteresting trailer. Daniel Day-Lewis is a fashion designer or something like that who's having a affair with women or something. That's all I got out of it. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, skip it. The Shape of Water, a new trailer for that. God damn, I'm looking for it. I hope that between, as long as, okay, I've decided already that I'll do what I did last year and wait until the end of January to do a top 10 list for best films of the year. Because I'm hoping by then I'll get all the movies I want to see. The two movies I really want to fucking see are Disaster Artist and The Shape of Water. If I don't fucking get those, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Oh, and Free Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri too. I'm hoping I get that too, but we'll see. God damn, The Shape of Water looks fantastic, man. That was such a damn good movie. Guillermo del Toro, it's like they said, it's gonna have a wild. So everybody's like, there's a wild sex scene apparently with the fish man and the girl and the mute girl, and I'm like, got my fucking interest. And just saying fish man fucks a mute girl. Yeah, hell yeah, that sounds so fucking weird, but I mean, I'm all for it. I never thought I'd say that sentence in my life. And the last trailer, speaking of fucking weird things to talk about, last trailer, All the Money in the World. Well, I haven't talked about this movie in a fucking while, have I? If you don't know what this movie is, if you've been living on a rock for the last couple months, because this movie has been in the headlines, unfortunately, for all the wrong reasons. This is the movie it's a Ridley Scott movie about the true story of the J. Paul Getty, the oil tycoons, back in the 70s. His grandson gets kidnapped by this terrorist group or something like that. And he refuses to give up the ransom money for his grandson. They start sending body parts to him and shit like that. It's really morbid story. And I remember seeing the trailer for this. I got the trailer for this for a few months, almost nonstop, and then nothing. For one reason and one reason only. The movie, if you don't know, J. Paul Getty was originally supposed to be played by Kevin Spacey. And we all know I don't think I have to get into what has transpired over the last couple months with Kevin Spacey. And it was Kevin Spacey, weirdly enough, with a lot of makeup, so you really almost I didn't recognize him until they put his name in a marquee. And yeah, so they decided, instead of maybe just keeping him in there, even if he's just all under heavy makeup, they decided to replace him with, a month before the movie was supposed to come out, to fucking replace him with Christopher Plummer. And this is the new trailer with Christopher Plummer. It's so fucking weird. It is very fucking weird to watch the trailer for this. I just remember watching trailers for this not too long ago of Kevin Spacey, and now it has Christopher Plummer. This movie still looks great. I actually really look forward to this. But the funny part about it is, I think this movie's going to be more remembered for the stuff that was going on behind the scenes than the actual fucking movie. So, I mean, it's kind of sad because this actually looks good. It looks like Ridley Scott going back to doing some really good movies. So, yeah. I'm looking forward to this one way or another. I'm not going to see it just out of curiosity, especially like them having to reshoot like on a brief, short notice all this stuff with Christopher Plummer. I mean, he's got a pretty big role in this story, J. Paul Getty. I'm like, how the hell are they going to pull this off? Is it going to look like a fucking mess? I don't know. We'll see. Like, they didn't push back the release date. Actually, I think they even moved it up a fucking few days, too. So it's like, yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how the final product looks. So, yeah, that's as far as trailers go. I'll be back, of course, sometime later this week. I'm shooting this on Wednesday, hoping to see this on tomorrow, but going to see Star Wars either tomorrow or Friday. Tomorrow, I know it's going to be it's going to be insane to even get into the movie theater. Like, I don't even know how I'm going to get a ticket. Or Friday, I don't know. One of these days, I'll be obviously seeing Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Like everybody will be. So, yeah, I'll have a review for that. I'm going to try to go see it as quickly as possible because I don't want anybody to spoil any of it to me. But until then, I'll talk to you guys later.